Park City has quietly become one of the most popular remote work destinations in the whole United States. We've seen a steady influx of tech executives, finance professionals, attorneys, consultants, and creatives who realized during the post-2020 work from anywhere era that you can actually live in a world-class mountain town and still run a serious career. But Park City isn't the right move for every remote worker. The connectivity is great. The lifestyle is unmatched. The tax picture is genuinely favorable, but there are real considerations most relocation guides skip. Today, I'm going to walk you through the honest, complete guide to working remotely from Park City in 2026. Quick context before we get into this. I work with relocating remote professionals every single week. Folks coming from the Bay Area, Seattle, New York, Austin, Denver, Los Angeles, and pretty much everywhere around the US. The patterns I see are remarkably consistent. The remote workers who thrive in Park City share certain characteristics. The ones who don't also share patterns. I want to share both so you can self-assess honestly before making the move. For remote W-2 or 1099 workers with no geographic ties, Park City delivers a meaningful financial upgrade over most major U.S. metros. Utah state income tax is a flat 4.55%, compared to California's top rate of 13.3%. New York City's combined state and city top tax at over 14%. Even compared to lower tax states, Utah is competitive, and the lifestyle bundle that comes with it is unique. Park City's primary residence property tax rate is approximately 0.55% of the assessed value, one of the lowest effective rates in the whole United States. So on a $2 million primary residence in Park City, your annual property tax is roughly $11,000. The same home in Westchester County would be over $50,000. In Texas, often over $40,000. No state-level capital gains preference, but Utah is one of the friendliest states overall for high-earning remote workers. For a remote tech worker earning $400,000 who moves from California to Park City and establishes residency correctly, the annual tax savings alone often exceeds $30,000 to $40,000. Over a decade, that's more than enough to pay for a substantial portion of your property. Park City has surprisingly excellent connectivity infrastructure for a mountain town of 8,000 full-time residents. Fiber internet is widely available in town through multiple providers, with gigabyte and multi-gigabyte options in most neighborhoods. The Snyderville Basin, Kimball Junction, and a broader I-80 corridor have strong fiber coverage. Outlying areas like Camas and parts of Heber Valley and more remote subdivisions kind of vary in connectivity quality. So verify on the specific property. Cell coverage is good in town and along Main Street corridors. It can drop like in some parts of the canyons and the backcountry areas, but for most, it works pretty well. And this isn't a daily issue. Power reliability is generally strong. Winter storms occasionally can cause like a short-time outage, but extended power outages are very rare in Park City. Many remote workers, particularly those running, mission-critical workloads, invest in whole home backup batteries or generators. Worth budgeting if you depend on, uninterrupted power. Co-working and meeting spaces killing in Park City, plus a handful of smaller co-working options and hotel meeting spaces give you alternatives if you need to escape from the home office, host clients, or run an all-day Zoom session in a more professional setting. Salt Lake International Airport is only about 35 minutes from Central Park City, and it's one of the largest and fastest growing airports in the western United States, with direct flights to most major business hubs: New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Dallas, Atlanta, Seattle, Denver, and a growing list of international destinations. If you travel monthly for work, the airport access alone is a major argument for Park City over more remote mountain town destinations. Mountain time zone, worth flagging. If you work with East Coast teams, you start early. If you work with West Coast teams, you go late. Both are workable, but it's a real factor. So here's the unique value proposition. In one day in Park City, you can take a 6 a.m. meeting, ski fresh POW from 9 to 11, take meetings from 11:30 to 3, mountain bike or hike from 3:30 to 6, and have dinner on Main Street still. That kind of integrated work-life rhythm doesn't exist almost anywhere. Daily commute from home or to outdoor activities is typically 5 to 15 minutes. From home to co-working or coffee meetings on Main Street, 5 to 20 minutes depending on where you live. And the remote worker community here is a real thing. There are informal networks, founder breakfasts, after-hour meetups, professional groups, and a steady calendar of community events. You're not isolated unless you choose to be. Health and fitness culture is exceptional. The Park City Rec Center, the National Ability Center, dozens of gyms and studios, world-class trail systems, and a community where being outdoors is the default. Most remote workers report being in significantly better physical health after the first 12 months in Park City. Schools, family life, dining, culture. We've covered these in other videos. The short version, Park City delivers all of this at a level very few small towns can match. Now the pieces remote workers need to understand before they commit. The elevation. Park City sits at about 7,000 feet. Moving from sea level, you'll feel it for the first few weeks, maybe a little more. Sleep disruption, mild headaches, decreased exercise tolerance. Most people adapt within 4 to 8 weeks. Some don't ever fully adapt, particularly older relocators or those with cardiovascular conditions. Worth a check with your physician before committing. Winter in Park City is a real thing. We typically get 300 plus inches of snow most years. So if you work from home, your office is suddenly inside the storm. Driveways need clearing. Roof loads need to be managed. Travel days can get disrupted. For some remote workers, the winter is the whole point. For others, it gets old by year 3. So be honest with yourself about which one you are. Social fit. Park City is more progressive and cosmopolitan than the rest of Utah, but you're still in Utah. Liquor laws are quirky to say the least. Some retail and service businesses operate differently than what coastal city dwellers are used to. Most remote workers adapt just fine. Some find the cultural transition more jarring than expected. The cost of living. Park City isn't cheap. It's kind of expensive. Well, at least above the national average. Groceries, services, restaurants, home maintenance all run higher. Not San Francisco or Manhattan expensive, but if you're moving from Austin or Nashville or Raleigh, you'll feel the increase. Then there'll be the real estate inventory. Single-family homes in Park City proper start at around $2 to $2.5 million and go up from there in solid neighborhood. For remote workers used to coastal market pricing, that may feel reasonable. For those coming from middle American cities, it's a step up. Then you have the isolation risk. Some remote workers, particularly single professionals new to the area, find that working from home in a mountain town can be isolating in ways that working from home in a big city isn't. There's just less ambient social interaction. The remote workers who do best here actively build community through clubs, sports leagues, classes, and, the co-working scene. So here's how I think about neighborhood recommendations for remote work. Park Meadows, walkable to Main Street, the rec center, restaurants and coffee shops. Strong fiber, good. It's kind of the best fit for remote workers who want to feel like they're in a Park City proper, neighborhood, but close to Old Town. If you want to walk to lunch, walk to the gym, walk to evening events, Old Town is unmatched. Smaller homes and condos, premium walkability. Strong fit for single professionals and couples. Then if we go a little bit out of town, we go over to Pinebrook or Jeremy Ranch. So this area offers the best value for remote workers who want family-sized homes with strong school districts. Slightly further from town, but shorter to the Salt Lake Airport. Still strong fiber, mature neighborhoods, established community. The Kimball Junction New Park area, this area is increasingly becoming popular with remote workers who want walkability to shopping, to restaurants, to the gym and grocery. There's lots of condos and townhome inventory at a more accessible price point. It's great for a lock and leave lifestyle. Now, if we kind of push out of town to more like a gated golf club community, such as Promontory, or any of the other club communities, for remote workers who want a built-in social infrastructure and amenities, who want golf and fitness and kids programs and dining and ski lodges, the private clubs deliver something hard to replicate elsewhere. Hideout in Jornadale area. For remote workers focused on the Olympic cycle appreciation and willing to live slightly outside of Park City proper, this area has been growing fast. Camas and Heber Valley. For remote workers prioritizing value and willing to drive, an extra 15 to 25 minutes to get back into Park City and a little bit longer to the airports as well. But these submarkets deliver dramatic dollar per square foot advantages. So a few practical recommendations. Establish Utah residency properly. Let's say 183 days at your Park City property. You need your Utah driver's license, Utah vehicle registration, Utah voter registration. Update your W-9 or W-4 with HR. This is what unlocks the primary residence tax rate and Utah residency for income tax. Verify your employer is okay with the move. Some companies have geographic restrictions on remote work tied to tax nexus and compliance. Get explicit written approval before you sign on a Park City property. Set up your home office for the climate. Backup power. Ergonomic setup for long winter days indoors. Good lighting. Dedicated workspace separate from the family and living area. A mountain home you can also work in is not the same as a vacation rent, so invest accordingly. Build community early. Join a club, join a sports league, join the chamber, or a founders group within the first 60 days. The remote workers who thrive here in Park City are the ones who actively integrate. Spend a full year before committing if possible. Many of my most successful relocating clients rented in Park City for 6 to 12 months before buying. They learned the seasons in the neighborhoods, the daily rhythm, and what they actually wanted in a property. The ones who have bought sight unseen sometimes get it right, but renting first removes that risk. Working remotely from Park City is genuinely transformative for the right person. The financial picture is excellent. The lifestyle is unmatched. The connectivity in Park City supports any modern career, but it's not the right move for everyone. And the smart move is to walk in eyes wide open. If you're a remote professional considering Park City move and you want a real conversation about whether it fits your life, your budget, and your goals, book a call through the link in the description. I'm easy to reach. Call or text me 310-748-0857 or reach out, via email, michael.diamond@parkcitybrokers.net. And don't forget, subscribe for more relocation content, and I'll see you in the next video.